Hi everyone, how are you? Just bringing up the live in the group. Hope everyone's well. What did everyone think of Natalie's live? Enjoy it? Where am I? There I am. So I'm just bringing up the live on my page and then I can see your comments. Let me know you're there. Let me know you can hear me. What's everyone been up to today? Apart from Nat. Hey Melissa, thanks for joining. Thanks everyone too for all your amazing Anzac Day crafts, because I did not want to get out of bed yesterday, but you inspired me the night before because they were amazing. Hi Karen, hey Nat. Thanks Nat. Nat says she loves my setup. I've kind of changed everything around today to try and look at taking some of the natural light and make the use of it. Hi Amanda. Hey Andrea. We'll just wait for a few to join and we'll get started. So Samantha, so your first lives, you got Nat this morning, you had me, you've got me now, you'll have Jules after me at 11 o'clock. Just so you know, if you're new to the group, we go live typically on a Thursday night. It was at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, but we may look at adjusting that to go a little bit earlier because 8 o'clock's quite late. But we'll definitely let you know. I'm going live next Thursday, but this weekend we decided to do a bit of a bonus little mini crafter weekend, little craftathon, because Mother's Day is just around the corner and we wanted to make sure you guys had lots of projects and ideas. Hi Anne-Marie, hi Robin, hi Wendy, hi Patty. Excellent, everything's working. So what we're going to do is today I wanted to show you how to make a Cricut insert card, and I probably should have an example with me to show you, and I don't, they'll be in my cupboard. But I wanted to show you how you can make your own designs for the insert cards. And for the Joy that I'm going to use, I'm going to use this card base, which is from I think it's from the Pastel Sampler Pack. All of the insert card packs now are available at Spotlight, which is awesome, and you can try Craft Online as well. And to mix it up with the packs, they do come with coordinated inserts, but I kind of like to mix and match mine, and I'm obsessed with the holographic. So I'm going to use this holographic insert, which is from the, I think, silver grey holographic sampler pack. And I love that one. There's a really cool rainbow scales pack as well, which has a rainbowy scale effect as well. Hi Gail. I will try to get to your comments. Hopefully the sound's okay. Apologies that I've got my microphone right in the front of the camera, but because I'm going to show you designing on my laptop tends to start heating up when I'm doing stuff. So I'm just trying to minimize that sound. So hopefully it's not too much of a disruption. All right, so we're going to do a design that's going to be for the Joy on the insert card, and I've got my wonderful card mat for that. But what I also wanted to show you is how you can also convert these files that you create also for the Maker or the Explore Machines as well. So we're going to do both. So I'm going to show you one design, and then I'm going to show you how we can make it for both machine types. So we'll get started. This is why everything's a little bit different today, because now I'm going to switch over and hopefully you're going to be able to see my Design Space screen as well. Philippa is saying she loves my Nutcracker. So this was actually my Anzac project from last year, where I made the toy soldier, and I did him in the sort of Australian Army colours. He's got some little faux leather detail, and he's super cute. So thought I'd put him out because he's kind of relevant. Thank you for noticing, Philippa. All right, so now you can see my Design Space screen. So I'm just going to go to Design Space. Now, Cricut have actually made it really easy for us. They've now actually uploaded a lot of the cards, the insert card designs for the Cricut Maker or for the Explore Machines. But what I wanted to show you is how you can actually do your own, okay? So we're going to start from scratch, but again, Cricut have made it a little bit easy for us. I'm just going to go to Images on the left-hand side, and I'm going to search Insert cards or insert card. And what they've done is they've actually uploaded or loaded as images the cutouts on the corners, the corner cutouts. So I can just go through and I can have a look and I can decide what type of design that I want to make. You can see here this one on the right actually has the drawn detail as well, which is really nice if you wanted to add your pens. You can see these are combinations. We've sort of got this cloud effect as well as a plain kind of corner cut there. So I am going to, and you can see there's even bases there as well. I'm going to use, what am I going to use? I'm going to use this detail, so I'm just going to insert that. So that's going to go into my canvas, and that is the perfect size for the Cricut insert cards, and that's exactly what we're going to use today. So I'm going to keep those dimensions as they are. But now I need to look at images and things that I want to put on the front of my card. So because this is a Mother's Day theme, I'm going to look for something, you know, that I can give to, it's actually for my mum and my partner's mum. So it's going to be from our son. So it's going to be for Nana. So it's going to be like a Nana card. Hi, Karen. Hi, Karen. Other Karen. Welcome. So I'm going to go to images and I'm going to search flower heart. And what I often do is when I'm looking for these cards or images that go on these cards, I add the word stencil. And the reason being that stencil cards we typically made in the past, we've layered up. So we're using the positive space. The thing that you need to get your head around when you're using the insert cards is that we want to look at more of a stencil type design, because anything that we cut out is literally going to fall out from the middle. And if we cut the wrong pieces, well, then we're going to completely lose the detail to our design. So I wanted to show you these two images. They're both very similar. They're heart shapes, they're flowers. And I'm just going to hide this one for a minute. And we can see this design. Now, initially, I was really drawn to this design. I really liked it. But what we have to realize is that whilst all these flowers, these yellow, these blue flowers are going to cut out, the detail, that little circle, that's not going to stay in your card. That's also going to completely fall out of your design and of your card. So this really isn't an ideal image. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'll turn on the visibility of my other shape or my other image. Thanks, Philippa. Thanks for the feedback on my little nutcracker, my soldier. This design is much better, and the reason being is we can see with every little piece here that's going to cut out, we can see that there's positive space all around it. So this will fall away, but there's no detail inside those cutouts that we're going to lose. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. We are going to use a little bit, some advanced techniques here, but I'm going to keep going because I'm conscious of time. So I'm happy with this design. I think this is going to look really great when it's cut out of my card. So I'm happy. But what I want to do is I want to make it a little bit more mumsy. And what I want to do is I actually want to remove these flowers in the middle and this heart, because I'm going to add the word love in there as well. So we're going to contour. All right, so contour is where we basically turn off or turn on different elements of a particular image. So in this instance, with the purple, I want to remove the purple flower. With the blue, I want to remove the blue heart. And with the darker purple, I want to remove this flower here. So if I select in my layers panel, the purple images, okay, I don't want to potentially remove it completely, because I want that little heart that's down the bottom there to remain. So I'm going to go down to the bottom right and click contour. I'll make this smaller so we can see it. And this is where we get the opportunity to turn off and on different elements of the image. So I mentioned that I want to keep the heart, but I want to turn off, just by clicking them, the flower portion. You can do it on the right hand side just by clicking as well, but I find it easier to do it on this screen here. Now when I close this, you'll see that dark purple flower is now gone. Now I'm going to do the same with the kind of sort of pinky purpley color. I'm going to, almost like a maroon, isn't it? I'm going to click contour, make it smaller just by using the minus here in the screen. And I'm going to remove this flower as well, and then just click, and I'm leaving that heart because I want that to still cut out. And then what's left here is this blue heart, which I want to remove. So again, clicking on the image in that color in the layers panel, clicking contour. And this is a great technique if you want to, if you see an image where you like part of it and you don't like other parts of it. So you can contour, remove out what you don't want, and you can leave what you do want. In the middle here, this is a heart that I want to remove. So I'm just clicking on it, and then I'll X out. And then that's left me my space to add my word. Hi Suzette, hi Alicia. Right, so the next thing that I want to add is I want to add the word love. So I'm going to go back again to images. I did search for this before and it's way down the page. So I'm just going to use the image number. So with your images, if I go on to information, you can see there's a code. So this one's M14964E00. When you click on that as well, you can also click view image sets, and that will also take you to other images that are similar or that are grouped together in that image set. So if you're trying to theme things or find things that go together, that's a nice little trick. But I know that the code for this image that I want is, and you could use font for this, but I found an image, and you'll see why. Oh. M9AD5190, and all right, let me just clear my current search. Okay, because I was in that image set, it was trying to search the image within that image set. No, hang on. I can spell. No, I'll have to search it. All right, so it was called Love. I've obviously written it down wrong. And what I was trying to find was an image that would be very much like a stencil font. So for example, if I was to use this word love, whilst it's going to cut out the L, the O, the V, the E, I'm also going to lose that O, that centerpiece in the detail. So not ideal for what I want to do. Here it is here. So I'm just going to insert it. Make it a little bit bigger, but what you can see here is that I've got all my positive space. So this is like a stencil, so I'm not going to lose any of that internal detail, and it's going to read as love. So I'm going to move that up here. Janine, don't worry, you can catch up as well. We have just started. So I'm going to move this to where I want it in my design. I reckon that's about right, and I'm happy with this. Now who knows what we're going to do next? All right, what we want to do is we want to make sure this all cuts as it looks today, as it looks right on my screen. We don't want it to move around, we don't want it to go into different mats. We're literally cutting it out of our insert card. So I'm going to select all, which I can do by clicking with my mouse and just drawing over the design, or I can go up to select all on the top there. But that's also going to select my insert cutouts. So I'm just going to deselect. I find it easier just to draw over with my mouse, and I'm going to attach. So attach is like a paper clip. You could weld, but we don't need to weld because this image is, it's all just going to cut out. It doesn't need to be connected as one image literally joined together. As long as it cuts in the right space, it's not going to make any difference, okay? So that is my, my image that I'm going to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my insert card, and I'm going to start within those parameters of those inserts, because I know that's going to cut out perfectly. I'm going to resize my image to something that I'm happy with. So I'm pretty happy with that sizing for now, but I also want to add some text. So I'm going to go over to the left-hand side and click text. And this one is for you, Nana. And up on the top where I've got my fonts, I'm going to choose style writing because I want the machine to write it. And I'm going to select my font. Now you've got all fonts, which shows anything on your computer as well as Cricut, or I can select just my system fonts, which is just going to show me what's on my computer. or I can go to Cricut and I can choose just their fonts. Now, I've got Cricut Access, and the one that I want to use is Loop-de-Loo. So I'm going to add that, and you can see it's a nice scripty writing font. It's easy to read, and I think it works well for Mother's Day. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Deirdre. Yeah, Deirdre's asking what granted means. So I had a bit of an upset with my Cricut Access. So mine just looks different. It just looks slightly different, but it's the same. I've got Cricut Access. So with your writing, I want this to be closer together because I want it to look like it actually has been written by hand. So I'm going to go up to my letter spacing, and I'm going to go on the down arrow, and I'm just going to click this, and I'm just going to keep reducing it until I'm happy with it. And I really like that. You can also then do ungroup to letters if some of them aren't quite spaced how you want, and you can manually move it. So if I go ungroup to letters, I, for example, could move just these 3 letters away, up, down, make them bigger, do whatever I wanted with them. But this one goes together really well. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to select it. I'm going to move it up, and I'm just going to position it and get it sized again for my card. So I really like that. I think that works really well. I'm also going to attach that just so I've reduced that spacing just so it writes exactly where I've how I've pushed them together. Then what I'm going to do is I want that writing to be perfectly aligned with the image on the card. So I'm actually going to hold down your Control or your Option key in your Mac, click the image, the love image, go up to Align, and I'm going to center horizontally. So hopefully you saw that just move ever so slightly. And what that's done is that's just made sure that they are perfectly aligned. Now, because again, I want that to stay exactly as it is, I'm going to use my paper clip. I'm going to use Attach, and then they will also now stay exactly the same position when they cut on the mat, same proportions, same alignment. They're not going to move around. So I'm happy with that now. But now the last thing I want to do is I want to align it to those cutouts so that it cuts perfectly in the center of my card. So now I'm going to select all, or just drag everything over on my mouse. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to align center. And you would have seen that adjust as well slightly. And that just means everything's now completely centered. It's going to look perfect on the card. I'm super happy. The last thing we want to do, again, because we want everything to cut or draw exactly as we've done it, we want to come down here and we want to click Attach. Okay, it's changed color. It doesn't matter. It's all going to cut out. It's cutting out of this, so I know what color it's going to be. You can change the color if you need to, but it's absolutely not necessary. And then I'm going to click Save, and I'm going to call this my Mother's Day Love card. Click Save. So David's asking about making sure the writing looks nicer. It really depends on the writing that you're doing. So I'm using the 0.4 today on both the Joy and the Maker because this is a very fine sort of writing. I think it also suits the style of the card. But if you were doing a bigger design writing on the inside of the card and it was just happy birthday really large, then I would absolutely use a marker or your metallics and things like that. But for something small and dainty, I would go with the 0.4 or 0.3. Yeah, and I've got all the pens, so it's easy for me to say that, but that would be my recommendation. Patty's asking if I could curve the text as well. Absolutely. Just know that you can only curve the text in the Design Space desktop and not in your app. Okay, curved text won't work in a smart device. So that's my card, and we're going to get ready to cut it out with the Joy. So now I'm going to click Make It. And it's going to give me the option to, of course, without the mat, because we know with the Joy we've got the smart materials on the mat or on the card mat. So I'm going to choose the card mat. And I'm going to bring my card mat over here. Now, on the left-hand side, it's got material size, and it defaults to the larger card size. So I'm just going to make it to the smaller card. And I know it's hard to see because I've got black on grey, but that's now sitting perfectly within the card base on my card mat. So I'm going to click continue. And I'm going to choose my machine. So I want the Joy. And I'm going to take my cover. Don't forget, people do, there is a cover on these card mats. So I'm going to remove that. And then we've got our card mat here. We've got our card base. And we're literally slipping this underneath the bottom piece to protect it. And then it's got the guides there to perfectly align your design. Stick it down, open up the Joy. I'm going to choose my material type, which is insert cardstock, but I could use medium cardstock if I wanted, or a different material. And it's asking me to load my pen. So I'm going to take out my blade, pop in my pen, and then I'm going to feed, because there's no buttons on this machine, I'm just going to start feeding my mat in. And it's going to start drawing that design. Okay, so I'm going to click go. And that will start. Now I'm going to take you over to my other Cricut Design Space screen. So basically earlier I've created something very similar. It's not going to be exact because I just, I would have gone slightly different sizing, same concept, everything exactly the same, except now we need to make this so it's going to cut on the Maker machine. So we need to create a base and we also need to create an insert. So what we're going to do here is on the top, you can see machine. I've now got it selected to the Maker machine. Otherwise, it's not going to accept this particular design. Hi, Sharon, no worries. Okay, so this is now, I'll go back to this, sorry. Let me just, because I want to show you everything. So it's telling me to swap out the pen for the blade. And then I'm going to click go again. And then I'll go back to my other design screen. Okay, so now we need to create our base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a shape. And the shape is going to be a square. Let's make sure you're seeing the right one. Yes, you are. And I'm going to unlock my dimensions, but I'm going to resize this. So the width is going to be 8.5 inches. Okay, so I work in inches. I'm a crafter and a sewer, and I'm stuck in inches in that regard. And I'm going to, the width, the height is going to be 5.5 inches. Okay, so that's our card base. Now, because we're using purple for the base, I will change this to purple just so we can see what it's going to kind of look like. Maybe this purple's probably a bit closer. But we also need to add our score line to this card because it doesn't come pre-folded like the insert cards. So I'm going to insert a shape and I'm going to insert a score line. And my score line, I'm also going to make 5.5 inches because that is the sort of height of the card as it's going to cut on my mat. Then I'm going to select my score line, hold down Control or the Command key on your Mac, select the card base, and then once again, alignment, and I'm going to center, and then that is now perfectly in the center of our card. And I'm going to attach because we want to keep it exactly where it is when it goes to cut and score. That's exactly how we want it to happen. So Janine's asking, can you work on other designs? Absolutely. If you go up to File, New Window at the very top, you can open up multiple machines. You can cut on multiple machines just like I am doing today. I just want to point out that you've noticed the Cricut Joy has already finished. So this is one of the main benefits of this machine is that it cuts cards quickly and beautifully each and every time. But let's keep going on our Maker design. And so that's our card base. So I'm just going to right click, okay, and I'm going to move that to send it to the back, okay. Or you can also click arrange in the top of your sort of menu bar at the top of the screen as well, and you could send to back. Then I'm just going to take my design that we created earlier, and I'm just going to position this visually how I think it's going to look right on the design. And what am I going to do? What have we learned today? We want it to cut exactly there. Select all, attach. Now again, it's going to obviously go all the same color. It doesn't matter because it's going to cut all of those pieces out. You don't need to slice it out or anything like that. Just attaching means that's where it's going to cut. And when you take it off the mat, those pieces are going to fall away anyway. But that's our Maker design. And then we're going to put it through. I'm going to save this. So we'll call it Mother's Day Love Card Maker Explore and save. Oh, the other thing, which I forgot, we need to do our insert as well. So you can see there's a few processes that we need to go through. So I'm going to insert another square, but this time I'm going to unlock the dimensions, and I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to manually just adjust this image until I'm happy with how it looks. Okay, so that's going to fall into those slots. Should work fine. Might just make it a little bit smaller. Yep, I'm happy with that. So that's going to be our insert, and I'll just change the color to the pale pink because that's what I'm working with today. But there's our card, all right? The other thing to remember too is because we're cutting this card and we're going to fold it, you need to make sure that your cutout design is on the right-hand side, because when it's folded, obviously it's going to be the right way around. If you did it the other way around, of course, you'd have your design on the back. Patty's saying our Maker looks so easy. Look, you've just got to trial and fail and just practice. That's the only way that we all learn. Obviously, I'm a card maker as well, so this comes quite naturally to me. But I'm going to click Make It. And the first screen, of course, is asking for the little insert piece. So I'm going to do that. We'll get that cutting. Just got my pink cardstock. I cut textured side down. This is AC cardstock, which is my go-to. And then I'm going to click continue. Searching for my Maker. Oh, I'm just going to charge my computer. It doesn't stop working. Okay, and then I'm going to choose my cardstock, which is medium cardstock for AC. And then I'm going to load it into my machine. So hopefully you can see this when I hold it up, just curving it with a bit of pressure, and then I'm loading. Okay, so there's buttons on this machine. Then it's going to flash, which is slightly out of camera with my Cricut C. So I'm just going to press that and it'll cut that piece. While it's doing that, I'll just eject my other design. So that's popped out now, and this is cut, so I'm just going to eject it. Another tip, if you don't know already, bend your mat away from your cardstock. Keep your hand really close to the design as well. And what that means is that your cardstock will come off really nice and flat. So that's my scrap piece, which I'll put behind me. And then doing the same, just getting that insert off, just keeping my fingers really close. And then that's perfectly flat, hasn't bent or anything weird like that. So I'll put that aside, and then we'll put our purple piece on. Again, I'm going textured side away from or on the mat because that's how I find it cuts best. And it's telling me with the tools that I'm going to have to use the midnight pen in clamp A and then the single scoring wheel in clamp B. If you don't have, which I have the scoring wheel, it's one of the quick swap tools. To change them out, you just need one of the housings for the quick swap tools. You press the button on the top and then the tip comes off. And then likewise, press the button, pop it on, let the button go, and it'll stay. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to open up clamp A, which I always remember is A for accessories. Put my fine tip pen in there. Always, never just push it down, okay? hold underneath, push it down till it clicks and close the clamp. Likewise with this fine point blade, I'm going to take that out and I'm going to pop in my scoring wheel to the adaptive tool system. I'm going to close that as well. So I mentioned you could edit tools. If you wanted to use the scoring stylus, you can just click edit tools and then you could choose scoring stylus, but I've got my scoring wheel. I'm going to click apply. Again, I'm going to load my mat. So holding it up with a bit of that's all you need, a little bit of pressure. And when you load it, it just means it always loads perfectly each and every time. I'll select my material type. Oh, it remembers that it's wanted medium cardstock. And then I'm going to, it is saying to do it in fast mode, so we might give that a whirl today. And then click Cricut C. Philip is asking why hold it up. If you hold the mat up, then it just gives you the right amount of pressure. So when you load it, it loads correctly. Because we see a lot of people in the group where their designs have cut above the mat, and that's because you haven't loaded it correctly. So just giving that little bit of pressure, you're not forcing it in, but you're just holding it enough against the rollers, and when it goes to accept the design, it's going to work perfectly. So now it's going to score. Sorry, it's drawing. It's already done the scoring. Suzette's asking if the AC cardstock is from Spotlight. Yes, it is. I'm just going to reveal this other design while we're waiting for that. So just peeling it off. Go slowly, particularly if there's a lot of detail in there. There's some really fine lines in this design, so I don't want to rip it or... So I'm just going to do it really carefully. This is a really fine design. And let's pull that off. All right, and just pop that out. And you can see most of the design is stayed away on the mat, so it's almost like self-weeding. Now my machine's asking me to pop out my scoring wheel and putting in my fine tip blade. So again, you can see it's all achievable, but it's certainly a process with the other machines. So I'll cut that. And then we'll pull out a little bit of my little E didn't fall out, but there are fine designs. Sometimes some of the detail just stays in there, so you just need to poke it out. But there's my design. Now for the big reveal, we'll pop in our insert. You've heard me say it before, you don't have to be really delicate with these. You can actually be quite, not forceful, but don't be afraid of it. Just sort of give them a wee curl, poke them in. And then I find I just close it up, give it a nice little flatten so that insert just goes nicely in there. Karen's asking if there's a scoring tool for the Explore series of machines. Yes, this is what it looks like. You can buy it on its own, or it comes in with the Essentials toolkit, which has a paper trimmer and everything as well. But this is my first time seeing this, and I absolutely love it. How gorgeous is that? Do you like it? Look at that holographic. So that's me making my very own insert card, using the insert card basis for the gorgeous little Joy. And while that's doing that, I'll go back to my full webcam, so I'll show you again so you can actually see me. But there it is. That holographic is just gorgeous. Nana's gonna love that. You could draw it, write a sentiment on the inside as well, but I'll let my son fill that up with lots of goodness. So that's card number one. We'll pop that over there. Thanks, Dee. Dee saying it's beautiful. I appreciate that. There are other designers finished, so I'm going to eject it. Okay, and again, just going to bend it away, bend your mat away, take away the negative or the leftovers first. And then, very carefully, because again, this was a very dainty design, I might go the other way, just bending your mat, curling it away, being careful not to lose detail. I'm going to rip it. Get your hand in there. Or just remove this away. Because you can see how fine that little cutout is there. It shakes. Fine, but it's cut beautifully as well. So now we need to fold the scoring line, and I'm going to use my handy dandy bone folder. So very carefully, again, because this has got a lot of cutout, so there's not a lot of substance to that front now. It's just bend on the scoring line. And the scoring wheel does an amazing job, particularly with thicker cardstocks. The scoring wheel as well is fabulous for really thick cardstocks, poster board, foil cardstock. What else? Acetate as well. You can make these gorgeous little, this one's fallen to pieces, but I've shown this a few times, but this little gem box, and I actually did a comparison using the stylus versus the scoring wheel, and the scoring wheel won absolutely hands down. Karen's asking if I find the Cricut pen that comes with the Joy bleeds when writing on the card inserts. So here it is here. I'll photograph it later and share in the group. There's probably a little bit of difference compared to the other design, although that one's a little bit smaller, but partly because I think it's written on the textured side as well. But I don't think I would say it was a bleed. I mean, I don't think, yeah, I've been very happy with it. I labeled my entire craft room. I'll show you one of my designs I shared in the group with the writable smart labels, and it did such a beautiful job, and it's crystal clear and lovely and sharp, so no concerns there. But that's our design. Now I'm going to put the insert in as well, so hopefully I got the measurements right. Thank you, Karen. Karen's saying I make it look easy. Again, you know, it's just practice, practice, practice. So I'm just popping this into the corners. Again, you just don't need to be particularly delicate with these. It's just meant to be. I'll just position those. I probably could have made it a little bit bigger next time. Just give it a wee fold. And there is the Maker version. Now, this one really pops, of course, because it's got the holographic. This one will probably pop a little bit more as well. But that is just showing you how you can create your own designs, either on the Maker or Explore Machines or on the Cricut Joy. So I hope that was really useful and you got something out of it. Oh, I'm super early, so I'll just have a quick look at the comments. I'll just have a quick scan to make sure I haven't missed anything. Thanks for all the lovely comments. I will go through, and if I've missed anything, I'll answer them. So David's saying he's failed a couple of times with the Maker using the Joy card mat hack. Yeah, so I'm all about making life easier. I just think sometimes, you know, some things tend to end up being harder, so I don't tend to hack my machines. I prefer to do, you know, these sort of things like making them your own, but using the machines as intended. Awesome. Well, look, thanks very much for joining. As I say, I'll go through the comments. If I've missed anything, I'll respond. If you think of anything else, you've got any other questions, let me know. Have a great week. I'm going live on Thursday I'll let you know, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I was doing this, but now I won't be, so I'm not quite sure what I'll do. If you've got any ideas, let me know. If you want to see something in particular. Jules is coming up at 11 o'clock with her project. I won't tell you what it is. She can add in the comments if she wants to, but it's super fun. But have a great day. Thanks for joining. Keep being amazing, and we will see you very soon. So take care. Thanks, everyone. I'm just going to stop the live. And yeah, see you guys soon. Bye.